Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to continue working on part 12 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the last video, we were able to cut all of these border walls so that we could create our gate here. And then also we extruded, or we created a model for our openings here, for our balconies, and we also created something here at the back as well to make some designs. So now we're going to continue working on this, but first what I want is to add in the curtain wall door. So to do that, we need to load first. So we need to load the door family for the curtain wall. So here we have curtain wall single glass. We're going to use that. So click open. So once it's loaded, you can select this panel right here. You can click on tab if it's not working on you. So for example, if you're selecting this one, you need to click on tab multiple times until you have this one highlighted. Select that panel, and then now click on drop down, and then you have this single curtain wall glass. And then as you can see, you have the glass there. And then we need to go to level 2. But before that, let's finish up this one first. So let's go to our south elevation, or sorry, north elevation for this one. And then I just want to maximize this space right here. And then I want to go to level 2 to see how far that we can extend this one, because I want to extend it all the way somewhere right here. I'm gonna put it all the way right here, and then this one somewhere after this. It's good enough. And then we need to go back to our north elevation, and then we maximize this one. So we need to just clean up the way we have it cut. So we need to go back to architecture, curtain grids, and then we need to put this one in midpoints. So after that, click on mullion, all grid, and then just select them. And then now here we can select this one. As you can see, it's highlighting the panel, and then we could just drag and drop and just click the curtain glass afterwards. And then you need to go to level 2 in order for you to change the orientation. So for example, like that. And then here we need to flip it and flip it again to go it on the other side. So now if you can see, we have our doors right there, and also here in the front. So we're good with that. So next thing we're gonna do is we need to go to our south elevation, and then we need to set up our model right here. We're gonna model it, the gates. So what I want to do is to, and also I want to add in some grass patches right here so that we could add in some vegetation on this side so that it's look nicer. So we're gonna add in front and then at the back as well, so that everything looks proper. So here, model in place, generic model, and then click OK. And then we're going to do an extrusion. We're gonna pick up a plane, and then we're gonna choose this plane right here. And then you want to make sure that to change your material, of course, we need something metal. for the gate. So I'm gonna choose something that we have random here that we haven't used yet. And then after that, we can now create our model. I'm gonna create a model here first. And then after that, actually, I'm gonna undo this one first and select this and then offset this one to at least 5 so that it's not, so space bar, so that we have some gap that we can see there and it's not all the way to the edges. And then after that, we can offset this one to 25 as well. And then space bar again. So once we have that, we have the frame first. So we can click finish on that frame and go to 3D. And then of course we need to push it back. And then we're just going to put it halfway, similar to that. And then after this, what we can do is we can go to south elevation again. We can close this one and then this one as well. And then we need to create again extrusion, pick a plane, and then we're going to select it on this plane. And then we're going to add, so this one is going to be the depth, it's going to be 25. And then click on finish and then go back, and then we need to fix it first. And then here we just need to put it in the middle a little bit, not too much, because I still want that change there. Here I just want to double check something. We have it in 50. That's good right there. And then now click on here, and then we could click array first, select this AR. So actually this already is a scale, so that's why I was like thinking what's going on. So now click on last, and then we could put this one to maybe 15 for now. And then go all the way to the bottom. And then if you like it, you can maximize this spacing. At least you want it to be looking like this. And then if you want, you can change this to 16 so that it has a different spacing right there. So as you can see, it looks good now. So we could click finish on that. So simple like that. We finished the gate for the front. But if you notice, we actually went over the ground. So now we need to fix something, because we just need to put it all the way up to here. It shouldn't be all the way there. So I'm gonna edit that one, edit this one, edit extrusion, and I'm going to pull it up a little bit like this. We need to edit this one because we're gonna fill that gap for sure. And then here we could put it at 14, and then we could pull this one up, and then it will space itself. So as you can see, that's good right there. So of course we're going to have the sidewalk and then the road later on, and then we're gonna fix that. But for now, we have this one, and it's doing good right there. So I like that. And then of course we're going to copy it, same thing here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna select this, edit in place, and then here create extrusion, pick plane, and then we're gonna select this wall again. Make sure it's aluminum, the one that we used before, and then here 5, and then from here spacebar up to the bottom here, and then click hit here 50, and then go here and then click it right there. And then obviously this is too big just for one, so we're going to make this one up to the midpoint. So we need to look for the midpoint. I think the midpoint is right here, so I'm going to pull it all the way here. I'm gonna unjoin that and then just figure this out, and then there's gonna be a gap here, so that's fine with me. So that's good. Now we could just click on finish, and then you want to make sure that this is the same alignment. So I'm going to align it at the back, and then AL again for the front. There we go. Click on south, and then now we need to do the same one, extrusion, pick a plane. We're going to select this plane right here, and then maybe similar to this. And then what I'm gonna do is, to make it simpler for me, is to just move this and then just align this one. We can actually use align for both ways, so to make it easier. So now we can click finish on that, go back to 3D, AL, align it at the end or at the back right there, and then AL again, align it here. So everything is aligned, and then now we just need to do an array, go all the way to the last, sorry, and then we could do 14, and then we could just align this one from the bottom so that everything is equally spaced, similar to the gate. And then now we just need to click finish, and then here we just need to go edit again, select right here, CO, and then we could just copy it. Of course, we're gonna create some space. Here we could just click on or do some notches, so the gap here is similar to this. So I'm happy, and we have some gap here in front, so we could just click on finish, and as you can see, that looks really good. We have something that is like that. Now what I want to do next is to just create this stairs right here, but I'm gonna create it using model in place so that it's easier for us to design it. So here, go to ground, zooming in, and then go to architecture, model in place, and then generic model, and Press OK. Create an extrusion. Then we're gonna extrude it 100. Change the material to concrete. And then I'm just going to pull up a random concrete material. And then just add it like that. So we're gonna do a longer one first. And then we're gonna put it 1200 first. Click finish. And then after that, create again. Set it. Pick a plane. And then we're gonna select this plane right here. Another 100. And then here it's 800. Click finish. And then create again. Another one. Set it. Pick a plane. And then select this one right here. And then here we're going to put this one right here. Click finish. Go to 3D. And as you can see, everything is lining up because we put it at 300. And then we could just add in some lights here later on. And then we can click finish right now. After that, what we can do is we could go to ground, and then I want to add more grass part. So, and then we're going to add in our floors here. So go to architecture, click on floor, edit, duplicate. This will be the road first. So floor 6, edit. And then we're going to change this to a random concrete material. That one is already used, so we're going to use another one. And then we could just add concrete right here. We can put it all the way here so that everything's lining up. And then we're just going to do it at 20 millimeters. I think that's more than enough. I want to add in some grass part in front, like I said, before the sidewalk. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add floor 6 right there. And then I want to add floor 4, which is the grass. I want the grass part on this side as well. We could align this. And then another grass part around here. And then I know I'm going to put in some houses on this side. So here I'm just going to maximize this space, make sure that everything is looking good. And then I'm thinking of adding just concrete here so that it's just going to mask the area. So I'm just gonna do that, but different concrete material. So no, actually just floor. Edit, duplicate floor 7, and then another concrete material. Apply, OK, and then OK. And then obviously we need to fill this up. Don't attach. And then there we go. And then we could just add in houses here on the side, maybe 2 or 3, and then maybe 2 here, so that it looks populated. And then of course we're going to add the sidewalk. So we're going to add the sidewalk here. So for the sidewalk, we might extend this one as well depending on the look of the sidewalk that we're going to do. I'm going to use model in place for the sidewalk, generic model. And then here, what I want to do is to just do an extrusion set, and then I want to put the plane right here at the top here, and then just 100. And then we're going to put in a different concrete material. I'm going to just add it right here on this side. And then I'm going to put it at around 2,000. And then here as well. So CS. Actually, you don't need to do CS when you're still in the and you're still working on it. Then we're just going to align. I'm gonna make it 4,000 instead because of what we're doing. I think that's more than enough. And then we're just going to make it big enough for the street. So we're gonna finish that first. Edit this boundary right here. And then edit this one. Around 31,000. I think that's good enough. And then edit this one as well, because we're going to make on the other side as well. So this one is 4,000. And then here we could have a patch of grass. So I'm going to edit this again. I'm going to make this fillet arc, 3,000, and then 3,000 as well. And then this side will have a patch right here of grass. We're going to add grass there. And then aside from that, we have we can delete this. We have a patch of grass here as well. And then we could just put this one at, yeah, 1200 is good enough. Copy it. $1,200 there as well. And then click finish. And then let's look at it at 3D. So it's looking like that right now. But we're going to add an extrusion again. But this time it will be grass. And then just add those grass right there. And then here. So we're gonna finish that first. So thank you for watching and hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.